Brian. This here's Joshua. We're working on RQ. Now, if you were here over the summer, you've already seen some of this. Essentially what this project is a sort of shared streaming media server player thing. The point is to have a website that essentially is hosted on your local network that you can go to in your browser and play music that's shared between whatever computers are on your network. I started this over the summer as a Winamp plugin. I learned in doing that trying to make Winamp plugins is a bad idea. It's not a fun thing at all. And so I decided I'd go with something web-based instead because, well, that's cool and it's current and trendy and buzzwords and things. So, in order to make this happen, we're using Node.js to make a small web server that's easily run on just any computer. Using some HTML5 tags for actually playing the music on the web page. I'm trying to think of a comparison that might actually do a better job of explaining it than I am. How many of you know about Turntable? Jerry knows about Turntable. Okay.
FM?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So essentially what that is, they have a Flash-based player I think that they use there, where it's a certain number of people can connect to a room, and then there's like 5 people or something that can then play a song to everyone who's in that room, and they kind of go in order. And it's sort of like that, but different. Instead of having people taking turns playing music, it's more like whoever's connected to it can then add music to a list, and it's not can be sort of in any order. It just depends on when someone decides on something that they want to add on, and then it'll get played in the order that's there. So yeah, and we've got a not very pretty demonstration, but if you want to take over and do that.
Alright. Keeping in mind that I'm a freshman in Computer Science 1 with no prior formal instruction in this, and how terrible this will be because this is my first JavaScript ever, and I started it like a couple days ago. I told you it was bad. It's just a little plus and minus to add a file to the playlist. Coincidence. So if I wanted to choose that song to go into the playlist, I hit submit and then next, and it starts. And then I can choose another file to go into that. And then it just loops through that. So that's only a few days of actual scripting and a couple weeks of trying to learn from a book. So bear with me.
Yeah, so that's pretty much where we're at right now. Does anybody have any questions or wants to yell at us for anything? Or you had your hand up first, so go ahead.
Will we eventually be able to see a list of all the queued up songs? And
yes.
Then maybe be able to vote up stuff?
That's that's in the list of functions. Like I've got a huge page of things I still need to do.
Yeah, that's a thing that's it's in the works. We're considering maybe like maybe we can vote down people, and if a certain person gets voted down too many times, then they're banned for like however many minutes because they have bad music or something. Yeah, Ari?
So, as your voting thing will sort of take care of what I was about to ask, but just in case it doesn't. So, I'm hoping you're going to be able to eventually upload more than one song at a time. So you can upload, like, say, a CD or a playlist.
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to take into account people who are either trolling or people who are just stupid and accidentally upload a huge quantity of music at once? are you going to be able to have like administrative control over the playlist to like just wipe some out? Or are you going to be able to be like, okay, well this person just submitted 10 in a row and this other person has one, we'll play his a little bit before all of his finish?
The general idea of it is to have like one person that's kind of like the DJ or the admin that's actually connected to the speaker and can delete stuff from the list if they'd like to, or skip a song, or just make sort of administrative decisions on who's terrible.
So it's sort of a request basis. So you request the song to be played, and so whoever's actually running the speaker has final veto power.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of how it works. I mean, like you said, the downvote thing could sort of fulfill that same purpose. You know, if all 5 people connected to it don't want to hear "Never Gonna Give You Up" 17 times in a row, then yeah, in the back. You're looking at your laptop.
Yeah. I lost what I was going to say, but one of them was you might want to look into using Boilerplate for your initial interface, so it looks a little better.
Oh yeah, no, this is really ugly. I just need something fucking dirty.
I was going to say something else. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, is this using HTML5 audio?
Yeah, that's what this is doing. It's, I know HTML5 does have its own kind of controls. Like each browser will implement a set of controls, but there's also a way to hide that, and that's what we've got going on here.
So you're like grabbing an MP3 via like Ajax or something and then playing it locally?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, so you're not using the streaming API, you're actually like sending the song to the browser?
Well, that's what this is doing. No promises as to whether the actual final product will do that. I'm kind of learning this as I go.
Yeah, over the summer my brother and I tried to write Skype using JavaScript. We discovered that the streaming API was horribly broken. How are we going to get it to work at all?
I know Node has streaming built into it. That's heavy oriented.
You can get to stream to HTML5 tags and play music that resemble the original source.
Okay, yeah, that could be problematic.
I was going to say, like, it might be useful to look into NPD, which is like a music player daemon that's on Linux, that, like, it can play, like, anything you can think of. It has, like, automatic handling for, like, playlists. I think it supports Icecast, which is like a streaming service. And I think you can get it to be multi-user, which might work for your, like, individual rooms.
Yeah.
So you'd have like, a web browser, and, like, a thin, like, node proxy between NPD and the web interfaces.
Okay, yeah.
I think I mentioned this at your last presentation, but did you guys look into Subsonic? Because it sounds pretty much exactly what you described as your project, and it's also open source. So, not that there can't be more than one solution to every problem, but it might be better to look at what you can contribute to other existing open source projects.
I don't think that I have heard of that. Have you heard of that?
Nope.
Go ahead and look it up.
Well, yeah, we'll absolutely look into that. If it's the same thing that we're doing, then maybe we can steal all their work. Not for real, but yes.
What happens if in the current system you click choose file and then select multiple files?
Nothing yet. Right now I've only got it so it can select one at a time. But in the future...
So it won't let you control click or shift click or anything like that?
Correct. Shift clicking. That's in the future. I'll try to do that.
Why Node.js? Well, initially, because Jarrell recommended it to me. He said, look at Node, and you'll like it. And so I was like, okay.
I'll defend it.
I'll defend it too.
So for something like this, where it's a low number of users connecting to a server, like a room full of people maybe, it's okay to use Node, even though it has ridiculous overhead. It's very high level, and for something like creating a streaming server, you can do it in around 100 lines of code basics, which would enable building an application with a lot of features without doing a lot of really low-level work to make a streaming protocol.
So yeah, pretty much there's that, and there's the fact that I've never really done much in the way of web design before, so it looked like it's kind of an easy way to get into it and still have a lot of the functionality that I want it to have, even though I'm not exactly a master at it. Anything else?
Oh yeah.
How much of a music history can you go back, or does it just delete the song after it's done?
Right now I've got it so that it's just like a list of those songs, and it keeps adding it to the end of the list. But right now the thing that I'm working on is like when you send a request, it adds it to that list, and then once that song's played, it's added to like a kind of pool. So once the playlist of requests runs out, then it just starts cycling through the songs in the pool.
Okay, so let's go to the one more, the last one.